Hello, it's IELTS with me tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to write a Band 9 essay for your IELTS writing task 1 question. In this module, we'll focus on a model essay as well as examiner's comment and a step-by-step explanation regarding line graphs and tables. Okay, let's get started. Our question here is we have chart A, chart B, right? Two charts, and our question here is chart A below shows the rate of oil consumption in billions of barrels in a small country from 1950 to 2010. Chart B shows the number of people employed in the oil industry in that country, and also the rate of unemployment throughout the country over the same time. Okay, you have to report summarizing the information. Write a report summarizing information, select and describe the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. You have to actually demonstrate what are the trends and what is or are the exceptions. Okay. In chart A, we have annual consumption use of oil, and our unit is million barrels. Okay, pay attention that. Let me pay attention that we have 1950, 1960 till 2010. Okay, I have a question. Is this chart, the data here, static data or movement data? Since we have different time scales, that shows we have movement data, and therefore we should mention the changes in our data. Okay, we start from the start point till the end. Here we start in 1950 from 20 million barrels till mids of 2000, right? Till 40 million barrels with consistent consistent, and then with a rapid growth in the till 2010 with more than with near to 60 million barrels. Actually, the growth here is how many fold? To threefold. We have threefold growth here. Okay, and regarding actually 1,000 people employed in oil industry, employment and unemployment from 1950. Actually, we see some fluctuation here, but after that we see a growth pattern, right? From 1 to 3.1 in 2010, right? And as like as the first chart, we see actually the nearly actually threefold growth, right? And we can say we have not a rapid growth but consistent growth, right? And regarding unemployment percentages, actually again we saw here a fluctuation, but we see a consistent decrease pattern, right? decrease pattern. And we start here in 1950 to 1.6 in 2010, and more than half we saw a decrease pattern. Okay, let's get started. The charts show the progress of oil consumption, oil sector employment, and national unemployment in a nation between in one country in a nation between 1950 and 2010. Okay, regarding oil consumption, that's important. Regarding oil consumption, academic phrases, and here turning to blah 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 blah, again starting with academic phrases. Regarding oil consumption, this fluctuated around 20 million barrels per year until 1970. Yeah, that's true. We had a oil consumption, we had a per year this fluctuated around 20%. Yeah, goes up and down. Yeah, under the 20. When it rose steadily to reach 40 million in 2000 and around 50 million by 2010, then start to rise to 40 million barrel and then near 50 million barrel, right? Looking at the data on oil industry jobs employment, we see that the growth in consumption was matched by a roughly similar threefold trend in employment in that sector, right? 3 times increase, right? And here 3 times threefold increase here. That's was matched by a roughly similar threefold trend in employment in that sector. Numbers fluctuated around 1,000 million until 1950. 1950, yeah, fluctuated, goes up and then goes down, right? Before climbing consistently, pay attention to the structure of before plus verb plus ing. Before climbing, before increasing, before falling, before tailing off. Okay, it's important. Before climbing consistently, right? Increasing consistently, not rapidly, right? That's important. Passing 1,800 in 1980 and reaching 3,100 in 2010, right? In that we saw an increased pattern, right? That's true. And regarding the last from our axis, the last option, our unemployment percentages, right? Rate. However, turning in contrast, turning to national unemployment, this figure declined progressively over the entire period, dropping from 4% in 1950 to 3.1% in 1980, and finally arriving at 1.6% by the last year in question, right? Regarding our issue, right? we see that we have again a consistent decrease in our data, in our figure, right? And dropping from this to this, and finally we state our last final point. And overall, we can say that the rise in oil consumption in this country was reflected in an approximately corresponding rate. Corresponding rate means the relevant rate of growth in people employed in the oil business. There is a link, there is a correlation between people oil consumption and the people who actually employed in the oil industry. In both of them we saw an increased pattern, right? In oil use in this country was reflected in an approximately corresponding rate, the relevant rate of growth in people employed in the oil businesses. It's important. Try to learn and use them in your essay, okay? Was reflected. We can say that the rise in oil use in this country was reflected in an approximately corresponding rate of growth in people employed in the oil business, oil sector. At the same time, total unemployment dropped by more than half. Yeah, by more than half. Remember that it's important that in conclusion, right, in the last paragraph, you don't have right to mention any figure, any data, any number. You can just write your sentences, okay? Instead of overall, you can say to recapitulate, to sum up, all in all, to conclude, in conclusion, and blah blah blah. Okay, as I explained before, here is a movement data, because we have different time scales, and we have actually a difficult task, and therefore, instead of bringing too much detail, we have to mention to the same trends, and by this we can use and write the pattern and exceptions, and we can use fluctuated, rose steadily, threefold trends, climbing consistently, before climbing, and blah blah, and structures as this. And in actually summary, with growth or drop, and the use of corresponding rate, which we actually mentioned to the main trend actually. Dropped by more than half actually is an effective way to show that the candidate understand the data without repeating detail, bringing much more detail here. And this is a pretty good model for showing that how to set a group of data, and by learning this, actually we can get a higher score in our writing task 1. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please don't hesitate to check out our videos, and I hope that you really enjoyed this module. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in another IELTS with me tutorial. Take care and see you soon. Bye.